Alright guys, in news this week in gaming and entertainment, we have something that is really not news at all, and that's just big companies being assholes. Hey guys, what is going on? Welcome back to another G-Mineo weekly update. I'm your host Seth, and I am here today to talk to you about, again, like I said in the intro, big companies being dicks, which again, not exactly newsworthy, or noteworthy I should say, and at this point is kind of hardly surprising. Scarlett Johansson is in a big lawsuit right now with Disney.
Round 1, fight.
Over the release and the way in which they released Black Widow. You see, Scarlett Johansson's contract allegedly guaranteed that Black Widow was going to have a purely theatrical release because a lot of her earnings were tied to the theatrical sales of the movie. But Disney released it on Disney Plus, available for people at home, which allegedly, according to the Scarlett Johansson lawsuit, cost her almost $50 million in back-end revenue from the movie. And you know, one of the most ironic, or rather like the most frustrating things about this whole thing is that first and foremost, Scarlett Johansson deserves every bit of money that she gets from Black Widow. I mean, she carried the franchise and the name of that character on her back. She's an incredible talent and deserves the money from the sales of the movie. I mean, most people are going to that movie to watch Scarlett Johansson, especially considering that it is a prequel sort of origin story, and we already know what happens to Black Widow eventually. So the reason they're going is to watch Scarlett Johansson and to watch that film and experience Black Widow's origin story. So yeah, she deserves every bit of earnings from the movie and the theatrical sales, especially if her contract guarantees it. But the thing that makes me really upset is that Disney came out and said that the suit is especially sad and distressing in its callous disregard for the horrific and prolonged global effects of the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, this is of course like a straw man argument that they're saying that Scarlett Johansson is sort of money grubbing over the theatrical release because that would innately put people sort of in harm's way potentially by exposing them to COVID by going to the theaters. But here's the thing, you guys. Disney opened Disney World in July of 2020. And they opened Disneyland here in California in April earlier this year. And the only reason they didn't open it earlier was because the state literally banned them from doing it. They made it illegal for them to reopen sooner. So here you have Disney claiming that Scarlett Johansson's lawsuit is frivolous and disregards the long-term effects of COVID-19 because of people going to the theaters. Meanwhile, they're still fucking cashing checks from their theme parks that have been open in Florida since July of last year, just a few months after the pandemic and the lockdowns originally started. So what kind of hypocritic bunch of dickheads do we have in Disney that they have the balls to say something like that to Scarlett Johansson in regards to this lawsuit? Now look, they can deny it and whatever, that's they're a company. Their job is to protect their assets, which say what you want about that. But what I can't stand is the blatant hypocrisy of them talking shit, saying that Scarlett Johansson is disregarding the effects of the pandemic while they're, again, blatantly encouraging people to go to their theme park so they can continue to get that money. I mean, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. Again, it's the hypocrisy is what gets me the most. So let me know in the comments down below. What do you guys think? Is Scarlett Johansson in the wrong here? Is Disney in the wrong here? I think you know where I stand on the subject, but it is what it is. I mean, talk about talking out of both ends of your mouth, or in this case, maybe just talking straight out of your ass. Also, in big companies being dickheads, Blizzard. You guys, Activision Blizzard has come under a lot of fire, rightfully so, because of their blatant sort of dismissal and shitty response to the lawsuit that was brought up last week in regards to their culture of sexual harassment. There have been over 1,000 employees who have already signed a letter demanding action. Blizzard, as the sort of lawsuit and the news has unfolded, more and more and more people are coming forward, giving their stories, telling about the incidents and the things that have happened to them while they were employees at Blizzard, or now that they are still working at Blizzard. there have been some really, really horrifying accounts of things that have happened and things that have been allowed to happen by senior leadership in Blizzard. And their response to all of this has been, I think, the most disappointing part for fans like me and obviously their employees and the people who've actually gone through the things that Blizzard has been accused of, again, perpetuating and enabling within their company culture. Over 1,000 employees over at Ubisoft have signed a letter in sort of solidarity, standing with the employees of Activision. Many employees, like I said, well over 1,000 employees have signed a letter demanding that action take place from the company's leadership. The Activision has really only gone so far as to sort of create like listening sessions where they're hearing people talk about the nature and the problems of the culture. But the response by Activision to these very serious allegations that are, again, very widespread across multiple divisions of the company have been disheartening, to say the least. We just hope that, again, the people who are who are responsible for perpetuating the culture, for doing acts of sexual harassment, are held accountable and, you know, face appropriate consequences for their actions. So hopefully, again, we'll see some resolution, some good actions from Blizzard going forward, but I'm not exactly holding my breath. All right, guys, so I'm working on the weekly update. Shut up, guys. I'm working on the weekly update right now, and the news just came in that the Blizzard president resigned. Yeah. What a dick, huh? Man, screw that guy. So, headlines, not the greatest news, obviously kind of a little grim to say the least, but that kind of wraps it up for most of the major news and noteworthy events that have happened over the course of the last week. I wish that I had some happier news to report on, and again, hopefully there's just some good things coming. But that wraps up sort of major headlines in video games and entertainment and brings us into new game releases that are coming out this week. Living weapons made of tentacles, Lovecraftian monsters, and black hole manipulation all appear in Grime, the newest title from Stadia, available through Steam starting today, August 2nd, as of the filming of this video. And after checking out the gameplay of this game, I'm not gonna lie, like fans of action RPGs and sort of like eldritch horror games might find a lot to actually enjoy in this game. It's sort of looks like a 2D sort of linear, you know, action RPG, but looks to be a lot of fun. The monsters themselves look kind of horrifying. Not my personal cup of tea, as you can see. I'm not a big horror guy, and you can check that out how well I did with horror games in this video here. But Grime coming to Steam, available August 2nd. Be sure to check it out if you're into that sort of thing. Humanity is on the brink of extinction, and you must bend time forward, backward, and every which way to save it in Lemnis Gate. Self-titled a time-bending action shooter. Lemnis Gate is a time-bending action. Oh my god. Time-bending. Why can I not remember this? Lemnis Gate, a self-titled tactical time-bending shooter, releases on Xbox One and Xbox Series X, PlayStation 4 and 5, and PC, all beginning on August 3rd. This game makes use of turn-based combat where you battle over the course of 5 rounds against different teams and things like that, battling also in the 4th dimension. Now, honestly, I'm not sure how they're gonna pull off like the time-bending aspect. Sounds like you're gonna be able to sort of like go back and forth in time, counteract decisions, and make very tactical choices about sort of the future and how things play out. It looks to be very, very interesting. And again, I'm not exactly sure how it's gonna work, but I'm looking forward to finding out. Again, you can check out Lemnis Gate, available on PlayStation, Xbox, PC, all on August 3rd. If you want to take a throwback back to the early days of skateboarding, where it was just you, a skateboard, and some chill music, you can check out The Ramp. The Ramp is an indie title by a single developer that is said to sort of capture the essence of like just skateboarding in its purest. It's not like Tony Hawk and a lot of these other skateboarding games where you have to jump up and get coins and do objectives. It's just a sort of virtual simulator where you get to skate to the sounds of sweet tunes. It's supposed to be like an experience for purists, big fans of skateboarding. And again, I saw some of the gameplay and I've kind of watched it, and it is very relaxing. It's like a very chill vibe. So if you're a fan of skateboarding games, you can check it out on Steam for $5.99, also beginning on August 3rd. Coming to Switch on August 4th is Dungeon Defenders Awakened, a sort of co-op tower defense game that was previously available on Xbox and PlayStation 4. I think this game will actually see a sort of interesting revival with being available for the Switch, because the Switch, I think, just lends itself really well to these kinds of like tower defense and co-op games. So be sure to check that out. Again, coming to Switch August 4th. Now, if you're one of those odd people who doesn't have enough chores in real life and find that doing chores and sort of like menial tasks in virtual reality is very satisfying, be sure to check out My Time at Porsche. It's a farming simulator game back from 2019, but it is coming to iOS and Android, so it'll be available on mobile gaming stores beginning on August 4th. And finally, if you want to take to the skies in some aerial combat riding a falcon, you can check out Falconeer, which is releasing for PlayStation consoles and the Switch, all on August 5th. But that wraps it up for new releases this week, you guys, in gaming. That's pretty much everything we have, and brings us on to updates. We only have one update, but for you Pokemon fans out there, this is kind of a cool one. Pokemon Snap actually released an update where they have 20 new Pokemon spread across 3 different locations within the game. I know Brady's gonna be hopping on board. I told him about it this morning, and he was like, I'm buying it, I'm buying it, I'm buying it. That's it. And so be sure to check that out if you're a big Pokemon fan. Like I said, there's supposed to be some really rare Pokemon that are available, including Snorlax, who is always kind of one of my favorites. I like his vibe, you know, nap time. But that wraps it up for the updates, major updates coming to games this week, and brings us on to film and TV. The newest trailer for Venom, Let There Be Carnage, dropped just, I think, within the last day or so, and looks to be pretty interesting. It shows the origin story of Carnage, one of the big nemesis of Venom within the comic books. I love Woody Harrelson. Woody Harrelson is going to be playing the titular character and the guy who's infected with the Carnage symbiote. The trailer's really kind of dark and eerie and scary. Now, the first Venom it was entertaining, let's say that. I did enjoy it from that perspective, but it didn't really like hit me the way that a lot of other superhero movies have. Venom was super entertaining, and I'm definitely gonna be watching the second one anyway, because, you know, Carnage. Also, speaking of movies, Jungle Cruise soared to #1 in the box office over the weekend. And while I like The Rock and I absolutely adore Emily Blunt, I'm not sure if I want to watch this one because we're kind of mad at Disney right now, and it is based on a Disney ride. But if you want to check it out, it's supposed to be pretty good, and it has scored the highest score on Rotten Tomatoes of any movie that The Rock has ever been in. And finally, a big one for gaming, the Borderlands movie has wrapped production and will be releasing allegedly in 2022. Edgar Ramirez, who stars in the film alongside Cate Blanchett, Kevin Hart, Jamie Lee Curtis, and Ariana Greenblatt, says that fans of the video game should really be looking forward to the movie. He thinks that they've really managed to capture the sort of witty, don't give a damn attitude of the games and sort of the dark atmosphere of them and put it into the film. So he says that fans should be definitely excited. Let me know in the comments down below. Are you guys fans of Borderlands? Are you excited for the film? Personally, the cast alone has me kind of excited because I love Kevin Hart, I love Cate Blanchett, I love Jamie Lee Curtis, and I'm just kind of excited to see what they all do together. But let me know in the comments down below. What do you guys think? Are you guys excited for the Borderlands movie? Because I kind of am. That wraps it up for film and television, you guys, and brings us into this week's setup spotlight, who goes out to none other than @TinyTricks. This setup is really cool. First of all those monitors, like I don't even know what I do with that many. I can't multitask for anything really, but she's got these beautiful monitors all set up. And one of the things that I really like about this is it seems like it makes a really efficient use of space in her home. It's kind of like tucked into this corner underneath the roof, which, you know, historically you can't do a lot with those spaces, but she's managed to turn it into this banger of a streaming setup. I also love the white wall behind it because it makes it so that the LEDs can sort of completely change the vibe of this space just by using lighting and different backgrounds and things like that. So TinyTricks, congratulations, your setup is dope, and what a great use of space, and like just it looks fantastic. So congratulations to you. But that wraps it up for the weekly update, you guys. Wanted to say thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think of some of the events that have happened this week, namely everything going on with Blizzard and the Scarlett Johansson suit. I mean, what are your guys' thoughts? Where are we landing on this, you guys? Also, let me know about the Borderlands movie, whether or not you're excited. Are you gonna go see Jungle Cruise? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for your support as always, and make sure to game it so you make it. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.